Crazy. Do you see yourself?
Do I see myself?
Like, that's the crazy thing. You're looking for the validation out of other people. Do you see you? Do you know who you are? Do you know where you want to go in life? Can you identify who you really are today? Do you see you? Because if you don't see you, then I can affirm who you are. I don't know what you're supposed to look like.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Golden Ghetto Podcast, where we tap into conversations that uplift and inspire the youth, take back our narrative, and celebrate our golden moments. I'm your host, Diana, and today we have a very, very special guest. And my high school friend. So this is not no regular but you probably know him from TikTok, giving the girls fashion looks on Instagram, but also breeding the girls like what's her name?
Ayan Van Zandt.
Exactly. And also eloquently giving poetry in a preaching way like Maya Angelou. Justin, introduce yourself, please.
Hello, the king is here. This is Justin Frett. Hi.
Okay, period. Something about 2024 gives that girl energy.
Mm-hmm.
Full circle moments, and in your words, So can you share your feelings about stepping into the new year? And what did you mean? Like, what was that when you made that video? What was that energy when you made it? Like, talk about that.
I think every time a new year comes, we try to be positive and we try to look for the future and try to make sure that we're on something new and elevating. And that was just a funny way to say that. I believe that God is going to place miracles in the lives of those who are active. And so my wasn't just about, a blessing's getting ready to come, but I knew the work I was getting ready to put in was not going to be in vain. And so I was big on, I felt that. It was big.
Me too.
It was big on OI for me.
Okay, period. And I feel like sometimes when we be knowing what it is, and we speak it into the universe, it kind of just already manifests in the world.
Mm-hmm. For some people, I think I know you're one of those people. Mm-hmm. For some people, God has placed voice. And your voice is going to have reach. And in the mix of that, OI season that a lot of people going to have, including us in this room.
Hello.
When you have reach in your voice, there's going to be moments. I lost my point. Go.
Because you've been this way since high school. That's what I was just saying. It was crazy how we were just sitting at a table and now we're here in the podcast room. But just you being able to just reach people by authentically being you, you deserve your flowers for that.
Thank you.
You're becoming known to be people's favorite preacher from the way you eloquently speak and use your words. I was wondering if you could say a little prayer for us, for those who are watching, or just talk about, give us some words of encouragement going into the new year.
Okay. Well, we bowing heads and closing eyes in this prayer? Or
yes.
What are we doing?
We could do that. We could do whatever you're feeling, but that's how I be feeling.
Okay. I definitely, in this prayer that I'm going to give, I was saying this season, I hope people have a greater relationship with themselves. And not to boast you up too much, but I hope that folks watching allow themselves to be moved and inspired by you. There's too many people who are dreamers, but not putting in the work to manifest the dream. And you're doing that. There's folks watching, there's folks around the world who are asking God to put things in their lives, but they're not placing things in their lives themselves.
Yes.
And he's going to place blessings in those who are active. The miracles are going to come to those who are active. Our work will not be in vain. And I stand on that and I believe that. And yes, I'm claiming that.
I love that. That is so beautiful.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you for your strong advice and your opinions. What experience and mindset changes did you have to go through to make and grow assertively in your emotions?
To grow so.
Or what did your upbringing? How did your upbringing affect who you are today?
I've always been like this.
Okay.
I'm the first stand on big business. I didn't even need to post about that. I was the first stand on big business.
Yeah.
I've always been like that. I've always been unapologetically me. I've always loved myself, and I think that's really been the key.
Okay.
You can't say anything about Justin that's gonna have me shaken. I know me in totality, and I accept where I'm at, and I accept where I stand, and I accept how I show up, and I accept how I act, and that's not going to be moved.
That's hard for some people though, knowing who they are. I could say it took me a while to just really figure out who I was. And a lot, what helped me was doing a vision board and just almost rediscovering who I was before the world let me know who I was. So going back to my childhood, recognizing that I love dance. This is a passion, and that I don't have to say I want to be a lawyer for you to accept me, or I have to go to college or do all those things that, society kind of puts on us. It's like, I'm an artist and I was born an artist, and I have no shame around that anymore because I know that I'm moving people in my purpose and this is my destiny. So like a lot of the times when you accept, like it comes, I feel like there's a seasonal period where you figure out who you are, you're chosen, and then you you have that guilt in being chosen. Did you ever have that moment?
The guilt of being chosen? No, because what's for me is for me regardless. Sorry about what?
Exactly.
Sorry about what? Feel bad about what?
Okay.
There's just the uncomfortable truth is this: we can't all make it. And it's not going to all happen for us. I don't care what nobody says. Not everybody's going to get the dream. But I believe that God has spoken in my life. The dream belongs to me.
Okay, period. And I feel like if everybody had that energy, the dream would belong to them. But the reason why people do not end up having a dream is because they don't believe it. So once you believe it and you assert it on yourself, then the dream is yours. But if you're standing there, I feel like you standing there like not in your confidence, you hating on other people that have a dream, now you stuck in a cycle where it was never going to be you.
Right.
But it could have been, or it could be you if you chosen to, change and stuff, like choose that vibrant, that frequency that,
Yeah, but I do feel like a lot of people do feel like it's going to be theirs. We in a Delulu generation.
We are.
So like you feel like it's going to be yours, but what do you do?
Okay.
What do you do?
So the action.
Where's the action?
Okay.
You're going to have a big business, but ain't creating no business. I don't understand that. You praying to be thin. I never see you at the gym. What are you talking about? You're not active enough. And so nothing. The dream is never going to be yours.
I feel you. Now that is bad too. And you know what it is too? I stopped, when I'm in the gym, I stopped like looking at myself after working out, like thinking that something, like I'm taking the motion out of it. I'm trying to take out my ego.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, we go to the gym for ego, so it's short-lived. We don't go for the long journey. We don't go for the longevity or just the fact that it's a good habit to have.
We want the results. We just want the result. Yeah.
And that's what, when you release the result, you get to fall in love with the journey.
Exactly.
Period. So as one of your TikTok followers, you often discuss a reintroduction to peace. Can you elaborate on this concept and what it looks like to you?
I think for me personally, I'm going through a real transformative period. And in doing so, like I always say, especially like when the hate kind of started on TikTok a little bit, not that I paid any mind, I want to be very clear that you don't faze me. I forgot where I need to look, but I just I want to be very clear that you do not faze me. I want you know I exist, not vice versa. So nothing you could say could bother me. But in this transformative period and like being who I am and being comfortable in who I am in totality, and I've learned like in order to make it to that breakthrough, you have to have the discourse. And so the haters show up in the comments. People say things to try to defeat you. People say things to try to make you feel like what you're doing is a waste of time. And once you get out all that noise, and you really stand in who you are, you meet that breakthrough, and that breakthrough is where peace stands. And so I've been reintroduced, and I'm not going back. I'm getting a new number, by the way.
The old folks cannot reach me. You cannot reach me anymore. Period. When you speak about peace, what are the habits that you started doing in order to gain peace in your life?
Like I said, I think it's a little bit of getting rid of people who are not building you up, who are not supporting the person you're trying to become.
Okay.
I think is evaluating where it is that you're the problem. You knew me in high school, and so you knew one of my favorite lines was that I'm fat. That was my line. When I tell everything out of my mouth was how fat and nasty I felt. And it was like, but you just went to McDonald's every day after class.
Yeah.
Like I was eating big lunches. Like it was just those little things. So it was evaluating where I am the issue and where it is that I need to kind of grow up and stop that complaining and get active.
Get active.
Get active.
Get active.
Get active. Okay. This is not sponsored by Nike.
No, I was thinking get active. Like I was thinking like that. That's very funny. Experiencing love without the need for performance or struggle is a unique form of confidence, especially when someone falls into love with your mind. And I think it takes a lot of confidence to speak to speak on TikTok or any social media platform because people are falling up with what's in here. They're not falling with your like anything else. So it takes a lot of confidence for that. In a world dominated by cancel culture, how do you gather the confidence to express your opinions on social media?
I mean, what are they gonna cancel? I'm nobody. What are they gonna cancel? My Metro card? Or something like it doesn't matter. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But also, I know my heart. I know my intention, and so I don't say anything with malice. I don't say anything to hurt people's feelings. I don't say anything to cause division. I stand on community. Like I stand on the community. I don't stand on discourse. But sometime in order to do that, things are gonna come up.
Right.
But I don't really worry about that.
Okay.
Like that's not my bread and butter. I don't.
Okay, period. It's not even in your...
It's not. And because I don't have that intention, I think that's why good is going to always come. You know, I'm not there for drama. I'm not making up stuff. I say things that I truly believe. I stand in what I truly believe in. And I'm not doing it with the intention to be known to you. It just so happens that now I'm known to you.
Yeah, period. Okay. Okay, because that would hit. No, that's a fact. That's a fact. So really just not even paying that. That's not even in your...
No.
Okay.
Not even an aim.
That's not even... You know what it is? Because it's like, I don't know what the feeling is, but it's like I think it's because we're so hard on ourselves. We critique ourselves so much. So we just subconsciously critique other people. So it's like that just feeling of just like, oh my God, like what would they think? But it's honestly like, who cares? If you don't like it, then that's the only thing that really matters.
They hold no weight in your life.
Yeah.
Why would I care what you don't really know me.
Yeah, that's
you know a few minutes of something that I gave you in my life. You don't know me.
That's a fact.
So what could you truly say?
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. And they're not even on a level of understanding you. You can't, the vibrate, like the frequency that you're putting out, it doesn't hit because it's not supposed to hit at the time. So it's like, leave it up to God.
That's the funny thing about the comments though. It's like, for anyone who disagrees, you clearly had a misunderstanding. And so instead of asking for clarity, you're now speaking on a subject matter you couldn't even understand in the first place. So that's why I know you're not smart. And what you should have done, you should have hushed or you should have asked the question.
It's like speaking to understand. That's another thing. I wish in school we had like a real communications class because all our life we're dealing with communication, but we don't know how to communicate with people. Like we don't know what healthy communication looks like. And then we're speaking sometimes just to be right, just to it's a lot. Like I'm reading myself. I'm reading reading myself as I'm speaking, but it's just on some like for me like I just feel like that would have been such a good segue into adults, into
adulting. Yeah, well, our education system won't do that. So,
hello. When it comes to relationships, what are some non-negotiables for you?
Oh, a non-negotiable. One, you gotta love yourself.
Okay.
I think when someone doesn't love themselves, it shows up in every way, and it's gonna be the insecurity, it's gonna be the concerns about what you're doing and what you're not doing. I think it shows up in their work. It just shows up in everything when you really don't love yourself and who you are. And also, we can't be with a dummy. I already said don't date an uneducated person, date an educated person, for an educated person knows how to be a student.
Hello.
And I stand on that. I need to be around someone who knows how to learn. And if you're not aware, you know how to gain the resources to learn.
That's a fact. But I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like a lot of bad bitches be having that one, they go through the dumb bitch phase. So it's like, to those that are going through that dumb bitch phase, like, what would you say to them right now? Like that you see them being like in their light and stuff like that, but you see them with somebody that obviously doesn't deserve them. And I feel like it's worthiness though. I feel like they don't value themselves. But what advice would you give to somebody going through their dumb bitch phase that has the potential to really step into their...
Honestly, like, I understand it and I respect it because when you go through that dumb bitch phase, I felt weird saying it. I was like, wait, I just talked about cancel culture. Hold on now. I only said it because she said it. Relax. I'm not calling you one. She said that and I'm repeating what she had said. I'm quoting her.
No, listen, because there's too many bad gals, and
okay, I'll do that.
You with the clown, with the clown niggas, too many, and I'm seeing it. But I feel like we all go through that. For me, that one good one, and then we snap out of it. But somebody that's going through it, like, what would you?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, especially because we're young. But you don't date that.
Yeah, hello.
You chill with that. You go to the club with that. You go out to dinner with that. Yeah. But you don't get in a relationship with that. what can he bring here?
Yeah.
I'm big on, I don't ask like what you bring to the table because I pay attention, so I already know before I said hello.
Ooh.
I already know I can just tell by how you walk, how you rock, if there's any money showing up in here. I mean, I don't even need to ask the question. Y'all don't be focused.
Ooh.
Y'all don't be focused. You got to see what type of cards are already in the wallet. I don't need to ask you a question.
Ooh.
You got to be focused.
Ooh.
Why are you asking these type of questions?
That's so true.
Yes. Is the shoelaces dirty? You got to be focused.
Yeah. Nah, that's a fact.
Like,
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Stop dating that.
Yeah.
Like, lay with that. I understand. Lay with that. But stop dating that.
Nah, facts. That's a fact. That's a fact. It's nothing to it though.
Yeah. You don't need to ask any questions. Pay attention.
That's a fact. I want to, you mentioned your love language being reciprocity. I want you to speak on that.
Yeah, Lauryn Hill taught me best. Lauryn Hill tells me best. Reciprocity.
Okay.
Well, reciprocity is, getting what you give.
Right.
And I think a lot of the times with these love language things, one is becoming an annoying question.
Okay.
What is your love language? Shut up. Because I think at the end of the day, we all want a little bit of all of that.
That's true.
And when I say I want reciprocity, I want you to put as much work as I'm going to put in this. And so there are moments when I need to affirm you. There are moments when I need to give you the physical touch. And there's moments when I need you to show up for me in a special type of way. And I hope when it's necessary for me to get that back, that you show up the way I showed up for you. So I need reciprocity.
I need reciprocity. I need that too. Shit, give me some of that. I
also love how many people are like, what does that word mean?
I feel like well, it's in the word, like reciprocal. I was thinking that, like just getting what you, but honestly, I was thinking a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people feel like they're scared because they can't even get they haven't been able to get what they give out. So it's like, I feel like a lot of people don't know what it means because they never experience, like they don't even, like on some like clown, like, like just to be jokey, like, what is that? What's that?
Right. No, they were for real. A lot of them. I'm going to be real. But a lot of y'all also have never experienced it because you're willing to compromise for a right now type of love. And you can't sit around and complain and say, I'm looking for the one, I'm looking for my person. And then you're compromising for somebody who you know is not going to be the person that's going to last. So I don't need to say I'm in a relationship to say I'm in a relationship. I'm with this person right now because right now I know in my heart, this, that one. So what am I with? So we alone right now until I see some reciprocity.
That's a fact. And alone is fun.
Ooh.
Alone isn't loneliness.
Oh no.
Alone is, I just realized that. Like I've been alone for a little bit, and it's been for me like I love myself, and I love being with my energy. I fuck with myself heavy, but I'm like starting to like I'm like I'm 20, bro. Like I'm 20. I'm young. Like I'm lit. I'm like, listen, I'm alone, but it's I'm single. Like, oh my God, this is a new perspective on being single.
And I kind of want this feeling forever.
Yeah, listen, even in a relationship, I want to still be free. I don't want to feel like a lot of times I'm hearing these relationship problems, and I'm like, they think they can control you. Like you're being held back, baby. But listen, to each his own. Y'all got your own life. But I'm just speaking from personal experience. Like to be with someone that you can't be free. Like some girl I see on TikTok, she was like, baby, I'm bound skin in 20. She's like, I'm on a tour. I'm on a world tour right now. Right. And not on no hoe shit. No. But on some like
living life.
Just vibes, twin. Like I feel like, oh my God, I had that, I don't know what clicked. And I know it was in my cerebral. They say like, but it was something that was really just, I feel like it was just like, also too, it was also like, so this is simple, but when I ordered an Uber, but listen, when I ordered Uber, I didn't like the way the car had looked, but I canceled it, and then another one came back. Okay, it was like an SUV, but it was like that was like it's a small thing to say that like what one can't do, another can. Oh yes. Like, and they come so quick. It's not a waiting period. It's not like, so I was just that's what I meant.
I mean, and with that analogy, everybody's replaceable.
Exactly.
Stop thinking you special.
Exactly. Literally. Seriously.
Nah, I met a ton of y'all.
and the same people. I be meeting the same people in different.
I met tons of y'all.
But you want to know what it is, though? When I meet the same people in different bodies, I'm learning not to like be like, oh my God, I keep experiencing this, but saying like, how can I elevate this interaction? Like, what can I do differently in this that I did the last time that makes this the same person but a different me?
You know what I'm on with that is, what am I doing wrong to attract you?
Sometimes it's not about attracting. Sometimes people just be on these levels. Like, let's say you work in a store, you're gonna have these bad like rowdy customers that come in all the time. You're not attracting them. They just are
just showing up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like, how are you gonna respond to that so that negative frequency that they're on doesn't affect where you are?
Yeah, that's true.
So I feel like that it really just falls to the power of intention. I used to think it was attracting, but that can drive you crazy. Thinking that you're attracting.
I'm already there.
I'm like, listen, it could be me, but sometimes it's really just life. Yeah. Exactly. It's just life. And they're just constant tests of just like, how are you going to elevate in this interaction? How are you going to, they say fear is an opportunity to grow. Like, just taking it head on and just looking at it for what it is. Like in the Matrix, how they're all agents, spot them agents. It really, no, that ass. Like,
you love an analogy.
I do. I really do. Like, I'm really a movie head. Like, especially like intentional movie head, but that's how I be. Like for me, so I feel like that is good. Are you a low maintenance or high maintenance friend?
I'm low maintenance. I mean, but I'm so low maintenance to the point that you gonna go months without hearing from me, but I'm still your friend.
Okay.
Like you have to check on me. I'm not that person, because I'm not gonna complain to you, because I already know this too shall pass. And I can deal with the burden alone, because we all got life stuff. You like, I understand any valuable relationship takes work, but some of y'all are high maintenance to the point that y'all got your problems and feelings, and you're using your friend as storage to hold them for you. And I'm out of room, and I lost the key to the lock, so sorry. I can't open that. I can't open that gate up. Sorry. Sorry.
Oh my God. So I feel like I'm a low maintenance. I was a high maintenance friend before, but that's when I was a people pleaser. And I
was that?
Yes, I was. Stop.
I'm happy I didn't know you then.
No, right? But listen, I'm recovering now, and I'm in my non.
Ooh, why?
Listen, yeah, seriously. But I don't want to say high maintenance friends are people pleasers. Like, I'm not trying to put them two together. I'm just saying in my personal experience. But it's just because, like, when you have a lot of time, you can just start putting yourself into things that you just because you have the time.
That's the key. Nobody's busy.
Yeah.
Get you something to do.
Yeah. And
how are you calling me 10 times a day? Where's work?
Yeah. Where is work?
Where's work?
But they're gonna put, like, people think low maintenance friends are quote unquote bad friends.
No. They just don't know how to manage life. Some people are just not equipped with what happens with life. And that's why I feel bad for people who were sheltered. You know, like those parents who kind of push their kids out, there comes a good and bad in that. But I think part of what good comes of it is being able to adapt. And y'all don't know how to adapt. And y'all want to lean on other people for things that it's just life. Yeah. It's not going to go our way all the time.
And sometimes I feel like we have a lot of main character energy. So when somebody's going through their season, we'll be like, why are they being weird to me? Oh my God. And it's like, baby, it's not about you now.
Didn't even think of you.
Like, literally, like it's like I'm literally I'm going through it my own self, and I really need, and I can isolate. I know that communication is key when it comes to that. Like, it's nothing to be like, hey, like, I'm gonna need a little time and just voice that to the people that, because they do be thinking about, like, I know people can assume, because I could be assuming myself, but it's just like, just keeping the communication open and stuff like that. So I prefer being a low maintenance friend now, especially in the season I'm in, because I don't have time, but I also still love you. Like, I love you, but I can't be on the phone.
I can't invest a lot of energy right now.
And that energy, time.
I can't invest the high maintenance thing is for the kids. It's for the kids.
That's actually the real tea.
Yeah, or those who are unemployed.
Okay, that's actually.
We're keeping it real today.
No, that's
okay. I need a high maintenance friend. You ain't working. You don't got to go to work.
That's what I was high maintenance for too.
Right.
But listen, now I just want to be high maintenance in my
right. Because once you clock into that 9 a.m., the only thing you're maintaining is that clock to hit 5.
Hello.
So.
Hello. And you miss people more when you don't have access to them all the time.
Right. I don't always want you around. Yeah. That's part of why I'm single too.
Yeah, because you know what? If you were around all the time.
I don't want to see you every week. I don't want to talk to get out.
Wait, you have your own room, and if you lived with your spouse,
that would be nice. Oh, she want me with somebody with money.
So in one video you said, and I love this.
Oh,
you
I'm nervous.
No. Talk to me about Nicki Minaj. No, I'm kidding.
Please don't. I don't want them to die.
I'm kidding. That was not the question. In one video, you said, "I can't replenish you and depreciate me," and I felt that.
Oh, I said that.
You did.
Oh, shit.
You did. And I was like, okay, that's what I wanted to say. You know, some people have the words they're speaking through you.
Yeah.
So that's how I felt. I was wondering, what boundaries have you established in your relationships that contribute to their health?
I didn't even know I said that. God be speaking through me.
I'm telling you.
Wait, what I said? Say it again.
You said, and I quote, "I can't replenish you and depreciate me."
Ooh, God, I need to write a book.
Nigga. Damn. Goddamn.
Wait, repeat the question?
Okay.
You don't have to say the quote. Just say the question.
Oh. What boundaries have you established in your relationships that contribute to that? Oh my God.
Oh my God. You know what? But in the setting up boundary part, I got you.
Okay.
When I allow new people into my life, especially navigating growndom, when I allow new people in my life, I have to set up the boundary the minute that I meet you because I need you to know what's allowed here. So there's a code of conduct in life. And if I'm going to be a part of your life, there's a code of conduct in that.
Sign here.
So there's things that I can't accept. There's things you cannot say to me. There's ways you act that you can't act with me. I had to cut somebody off the other day because one thing you will not do is try to categorize me.
Okay.
I think categorization was the wickedness of society. The second you felt the need to categorize people, all of a sudden we were black, all of a sudden we were less than.
Hello.
The minute you needed to start to do that was the minute you try to ruin folks. And you're not going to ruin me. I'm not in a box with you.
Hello.
But I'm placing you in the box and you back in the trash.
Okay.
And from what I know about you, that's where you grew.
Hello.
Next question.
I feel you.
Don't attack the messenger.
No, please don't attack because we need you here.
All right.
We do.
You're not going to depreciate me.
And when they can't replenish you. Period. Addressing victim mentality is crucial, especially when you're growing. I feel like changing that victim mentality and changing it into I can do this. Like, I'm not blaming you anymore for something that I can not even let into my atmosphere. Wait, now how do you navigate adulting in friendships, understanding that sometimes cutoffs are not personal?
I don't think that they're ever personal. I think the thing where we mess up is sometimes depending on how long you've been friends with the person, you do need to communicate why this is not going to work anymore.
Okay.
And you have to be willing to be honest in that because it's not personal. It's from my own self-preservation. I can't evolve with you. You can't, you're not adding to my life. You're not making me feel good.
You're not an asset. You're a liability.
Yes, and I over-evaluated how much you were worth in the beginning. But now I see you back in that box with them. Yeah, so, but it's not personal. Like, there's a lot of people right now in life I cannot have around. And I mean, if you homophobic, I can't have you around. If you transphobic, I can't have you around. If you can't stand and support in women, I can't have you around. I can't tolerate ignorance when you're knocking on 30. I'm just not in that business.
Big business. You in big business.
Big business.
Big business.
Yeah, and y'all standing on wrong business, a lot of you.
They got no LLCs.
Yeah.
No incorporation.
Right. You stand on the business of a dumb nigga.
Oh, that's a lot of got degrees in that. A lot of niggas got dumb nigga degrees.
I saw a bio the other day. This is a dumb old ass motherfucker who's knocking on 50, whose bio said masters in sarcasm and tried to read me. You don't even have a bachelor's. You don't have a master's in anything. And you trying to come for me. Knocking on 50.
That's another thing too. When you do be reading the comments and you look I had to go back to that moment and get right.
I had to hold back.
Yeah, but I be looking at the people. I like looking at the people. Sometimes people just really just be fighting demons, and they just chose you as the demon they wanted to. Like the bad gals, the niggas that get them. They not worried about what you say. And if they're agreeing and clapping and cheering you on,
always
either they can hold you accountable, but it's never hate.
Never.
So anytime the hate comes my way, I don't even.
No, because you're always ugly.
Yeah.
Or not smart. Or both.
That ass. Or a dumb nigga. Or you graduated from dumb nigga high school.
I'm not going to drop no names of what them schools are. But you know.
You do. I wanted to know, what are your green flags in friendships?
My green flags in friendships. Ooh. I'm sorry. I'm very much a capitalist. I don't care what you got to say. We don't live in socialism. I got to get to the money.
Okay.
And in that capital, like one thing
for me,
I got to get to the money.
The
blazer costed something. The pants costed something. I got to get to the money. Like one of the green flags, I brought the money up thing funny, but I also brought it up for real because I think one thing that sometimes affects friendships that no one brings up is a financial thing. There's some people who's not at a financial place to be your friend. There's things I want to do that you just cannot do. And I've noticed that sometimes I've made people feel insecure because they can't match where I'm headed. And so a green flag is being around somebody who can, I don't want to say hold the weight, but who's just on my time. Or can at least be honest and vulnerable enough to say that I'm not.
Okay.
Because that's also a green flag because I know you're a communicator. And I know you're honest and I know you're real. And I know we can't do this, we can do other stuff. So the communication thing, I think is a big green flag for me.
Me too. I think communication is one of the biggest green flags. Also, too, just how do you love yourself? Like, how do you love yourself? If I see you take care of yourself, you love yourself, then I'm like, okay, you have the capacity to love them. Like you, as a friend, as a partner, like anything, like just people that love themselves, you see God shine through them. And it's like a Godfidence. It's not even a confidence.
Ooh, Godfidence.
It's God.
You better trademark.
I know, right? Let me take that back.
Come on. We stand on big business.
We stand on big business. We stand on monetization this year. We just standing with our chest out and we standing in self-love. That's what we really standing on. And I love I feel like self-love is self-love and accountability. If a person is accountable within themselves, I know they can hold me accountable when I'm in my wrongs, but I know that it's coming from a good place. It's not coming from a place of insecurity or lack.
Right.
It's coming from a place of, oh, no, I see you. Right. I mean, like, friend, that was not good. Right. And you're not, like, a real girl's girl is not an enabler. And I seen a girl on TikTok, I think her name is Anaya, but she was just saying how a lot of people want to call themselves girls, or just people that are good friends, but when your friend is in the wrong, you're not holding them accountable. Everybody want fans. They don't want friends.
Right. And y'all can't all be a star. Can we talk about that?
I'll talk about it.
That everybody want to be famous and everybody think they main character and you a star. I'm not in the business of discouraging. I'm not discouraging nobody. I'm just being real.
I feel you.
You're not that interesting.
Because your face is dead ass. It's like, it's like, so, yeah.
It's the truth.
It is. But I just watched the podcast where Michelle Obama was on and she was talking about fame and she was saying how, like, do you really even want fame?
No. You really want the money. But more importantly, you really want to be recognized. One thing that I think is people are so fearful of being forgotten.
Ooh.
And they want folks to know they were here.
Now you're hitting something there.
They want people to know. I was being funny at first, but I'm for real. No. They want people to know that they were here. Wow. So much so that y'all obsessed with like trying to be famous and trying to be a celebrity and trying to get in the midst of beef and trying to start posting dumb stuff because you want to be seen and heard. You just want to have a moment so that you can live on in something. Wow. But live on is something that's really positive. That's why I don't really even like the social stuff because a lot of people are spewing negativity in order to be seen. And if you're going to remember me, please remember me for greatness. Please say that I poured into people. That's what I want to be doing.
No, because the way I used to sing, I was here with like purpose because I feel like everybody just wants to be seen.
Yes.
But like, even I feel like also too that comes into our childhood. Maybe like our parents didn't have the capacity to see us in the way that we was, so we just look for the outside world to give us external validation that we need to learn internally. And I feel like it all comes down to self-love. Like, at the end of the day. Like,
but even that's crazy. Do you see yourself?
Do I see myself?
Like, that's the crazy thing. You're looking for the validation out of other people. Do you see you? Do you know who you are? Do you know where you want to go in life? Can you identify who you really are today? Do you see you? Because if you don't see you, then I can affirm who you are. I don't know what you're supposed to look like.
Didn't you say stop?
I said, yes. Stop. Now that I remember.
Okay, baby.
When I had said that, my chest dropped. I ran in the living room. I ran in the living room to my mom. I said, you won't believe what just came out of me. You won't believe what I had just said. I said, stop wanting to be affirmed by people who don't know what you're supposed to look like.
Ooh.
Couldn't even believe that came out. I felt that in myself.
You a poet.
I'm a poet. You said Maya Angelou.
Maya
Angelou. God rest her soul.
Nah, that's so true. People, if you don't know what that was so when I did my vision board, I saw how it was gonna look.
Mm-hmm.
I saw how it was gonna look, and I was scared of how it was gonna look because I'm like, oh, shit about to get real.
Right.
Like, I knew I was going to do this podcast before I told anybody. I knew I was going to, for me, where I was, but it was scary because I knew the power that I held and just what God had put through me. And it wasn't even on some, like, wanting to be this. It was just like, this is really just God given. Like, this is what it is. And I don't know cocky shit, but, like, for me, it's just like, this is what it is. It's just the truth.
You're walking in purpose.
Walking in purpose. Yes. And when you walk in purpose and you see yourself, it takes you a while to see yourself, but when you do, you don't care to be seen by other people.
No, because those who are meant to see you will.
And that's... that is so true. And sometimes we be forcing people that are not meant to see us. And you feel like that's ego?
I feel like that's an aspiration to be like the person.
Oh.
Like that thing of, I want you to see me, though you never really will see me, is that thing of, I want you to validate that I'm something important to you. Ooh. And I don't even get, my biggest ick is this anyway. If you don't see the value in me, I'm already turned off by you because you don't know greatness when it's in front of you. You can't even identify when you really got it good. You don't even really get it. Because I've been laying all this good down for you. I got to spell it out for you to really and still you don't get it.
Yeah, something's wrong. Something, I don't like it. You don't got good taste.
No, you delayed, really. Real dim.
You...
Real dim.
No, because the way you be reading people is hilarious.
I do it biblically, too.
Yeah, you do it biblically, but it was when you was talking about somebody funky.
I did?
You did.
What do I be saying?
I don't know. That was heavy week. I was gonna ask you about that one. I forgot. But the way you said it, it was literally like hilarious. The way
I was talking about Gen Z.
Oh.
Yes, because that whole conversation about like millennials, Gen Z is looking old.
Okay.
And I was like, well, it's just that the hygiene for Gen Z it's not where it should be. Y'all don't wash like y'all it's just you're not washing, you're not scrubbing right. The sheets are not clean. It's the hygiene.
Justin! Oh my God. Nah.
Am I lying?
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. It is... The way you said funky, you emphasized the F, and I had to cut the video off because I'm like, nah, you're a clown. And you know what I know? It's a lot of people need to get like, a lot of people deserve honest friends in their life. Like, they deserve people that's gonna tell them what it is. That's like my mom, but my mom does it. Sometimes it don't be funny. It just be hurtful.
Oh, I know that one.
You feel me? So it's like, but sometimes it's needed. It's needed. Yes. You need that. You need that.
You need people to keep it real.
You do. You do.
And I'm gonna do that.
And you. A lot of people, I feel like they don't appreciate like honest friends. They sometimes they think it's, oh, you're being a hater, you're jealous. But it's like, no, I'm being honest with you. I see you. I see you for who you are, and I know what you could be. And a lot of people with this victim mentality, they just. It's safe there. It's safe to throw the hand and be like, that bitch, that
right. Ain't. Can I be shady one more time?
Be shady.
Why is it that the people who think you a hater ain't got nothing for you to hate on? I love that you're a hater. You don't support. You jealous. What you got? What do you have?
Yeah, like It's you funky.
You funky.
Yeah, like at the end of the day. Yeah. That's what it be. Can you speak on the process of outgrowing people and recognizing when it's time to let go?
The process of outgrowing people. I think that's going to happen in the early to mid 20s. Like in that years of being in your 20s is when you really start to evolve into an adult. You're getting growndom.
Yes,
and you got to start. You got
like an island.
We want to live there.
I do.
I do, but I want that growndom island to be Wakanda.
Oh.
No others allowed.
Oh, I like that.
That's where I want to be at.
Yes.
Anyway.
But yeah.
I'm outgrowing people. But like you get that season when you in your growndom that you are gonna start to outgrow people, and it's a difficult process because it's a weird thing because a lot of our best friends, a lot of our close people are the people we grew up with.
Yes.
And so it's so hard to say, I can't have you around here anymore. And I remember I had a video and someone had asked me about family. And I was like, well, the core definition of family was significant people who you grew up with. And as you're evaluating relationships, you need to ask yourself, do I still want to grow with you? And if the answer to that question is no, I got to let you go. Because you need to be around people who want you around. And clearly, I don't want you around.
That's a fact. I gotta let you go.
You got a song? You got a movie? I mean, you a jukebox.
I do. I beatbox too.
Get you one of these. You a jukebox.
No, but that is true. You know what? Sometimes we hold on when we in that moment because it's like it's familiar.
Yeah.
It's something that we've grown to know.
Right.
But sometimes that it's like you have to grow to let go. Like let go is also a beautiful process too.
Yeah, and it don't mean we got beef.
Yeah.
You just not my person.
That was another one too.
That was another one. 6.9 million views.
Period. Check him.
Can you believe somebody at work came to me and was like, Justin, I saw you on TikTok. I mean, no, Justin, guess what I saw on TikTok? And I looked at her, I said, what? I hope she don't see this. I looked at her, I said, what? And she said, I saw you on TikTok. And I said, oh, okay. And she's like, oh, it's having a little viral moment. And I said, sure, yeah. It has like 5. And she's like, oh, like 5,000? No, 5 million.
Hello. And you want to know what I hate when people say little in front of stuff?
Because they're little. So they can only identify with that word. Yeah. When you really have big imagination and big goals and you are operating big spaces, you only know big things. Wow. So you put little in front of it because that's all you have ever been in your life was small.
See, now that's just profound.
I need to start carrying a mic around.
Yeah, hello. I need a you need to fuck.
I don't want to pay for this.
Not me. So I wanted you to describe your relationship with ego and how do you keep it in check?
I got a song. Such a big ego. Okay. You know, Beyonce would take that money, so don't do too much.
Oh, shit. Listen.
She might see this.
You never know.
Don't minimize. Did you see the movie?
Yes.
Did you see how the girl was dancing and she clocked the girl and put on the show?
She did. And I took that girl's class the beginning of the year.
You did?
I did.
Next time, wear a wig and drop it.
Right? I'm gonna be right.
You're gonna be on the Renaissance. I think having a big ego is a good thing, but the only thing is you have to make sure your self-confidence is not imposing on people to the point that you're trying to lower their value.
Okay.
You know, I know the greatness that I offer to a room and I know the greatness of me as a person, and I don't need to minimize your greatness for you to know that that is what that is. That is what, there's a lot of $1 million houses on this block. And though I might be 1.2, I don't have to add the 1.2 when I tell you how much the house is worth.
That's a fact.
But I know it's worth more.
But it's like on some like I could see your greatness, but that doesn't diminish mine.
Right.
Give another person their props does not take away from anything that you're doing.
No.
If anything, it adds to it because it's like you have a pair of spiritual eyes.
Right.
You could see me, and a lot of people try not to see me, and that just forces them to be small.
And that's why you got to be careful with certain people because certain people can clock what is going to happen in your life. They can see the greatness that you are. They can see the potential that you have. And they also know within themselves that they lack what God has bestowed upon you. and they start to try to get in and infiltrate certain situations, and all of a sudden you need to be at every party that I'm at, and all of a sudden you need to be involved in everything that I'm doing, and all of a sudden we that close when I don't even really talk to you for real because you already see what's getting ready to be. So
when you say clock, like you think people could block your blessings? Like if you tell them you're...
Yeah, let them get in that ear. That's why I don't let people sit too close to me.
I was COVID in before COVID was a thing. 6 feet.
Please. Yeah, you could never hug me. Oh, but I did give you one.
Because I got
pretty privileged.
Okay,
let's talk about it.
No, I feel like it was also vibes. I feel like we was giving, it's just be vibes. But honestly, too, I feel like once you know the importance of your space, your presence, once you know that your aura extends beneath you, you know the color of you, you know what you insinuate, then you start being like, I need my space.
Energy's for real.
Literally everything is energy. Like, oh, they're having something, oh, that's just bad energy.
Yes, and that's also why we'll cut people off. Because every time I see you, you're miserable.
I've heard mixed emotions on the term about standing on business. But what does that mean to you? Because you said you were standing on big.
I was the first stand on big business. I wish I would have came out with that. I would have really been a star.
Listen.
Didn't that the older lady said that, right?
Standing on business?
Yeah. Wasn't it that older white lady who said that?
I don't know. I feel like I heard it. I heard it before Drewski, but it became really popular when you stand on business.
Yeah. Can I ask you something? I gotta ask the Sky Bar because I think she had came up with that. And what I think is so interesting is how it is that white people, it's so easy for white people to adapt to blackness. Don't you think that's interesting?
I just think everybody wants to adapt to us.
Because we're the culture.
Exactly.
But it's so fascinating because I know a lot of white folks and I've never once tried to sound like you. But it's so fascinating to me that when you grow up around us, you go to school with us, all of a sudden you got a little twang to your voice. You're a little soulful. So that means that you can adapt and learn within your situation. But you can adapt and learn when it really matters most. That was irrelevant, but I just had to go to because that whole big business, it was her.
It was,
and I just thought it was interesting that she sounds so black, yet she's so not. But don't shoot the messenger. But for me, standing on business is, first of all, it's just knowing and evaluating what's actually important.
Okay.
We're too consumed with things that don't really matter. And once you get involved in that, your life has no substance. I can't sit around and obsess over things that are not important. I can't obsess over things that are not adding value to my life and that don't have value. So my standing on business means I'm standing on the thing that really is worth something. What's worth something to you?
My authenticity. My doing what my inner child wanted, like living up to that child dream. Putting myself first. Just not really thinking about shit anymore. Like not overthinking, letting that overthinking go. Just really standing on my values and learning what my values are. If you don't know what your values are, your morals are, then you're gonna be in everybody else's vote. Like a lot of people always tell me like, you're always in your own world, because if I'm not in my own world, I'm in yours. And why would I want to be in yours?
Why would you want to be over there?
I don't.
Ain't nothing going on over there in that world.
People, I went through a whole social anxiety phase a lot, but now I'm just like, I really don't give a. The key is to not give a fuck.
I never did.
That's different. That you came out the coochie stand on business.
I did, but don't.
Okay.
I mean, I just saw my mother, so don't even give me that idea in my mind right now. That's a lie. That's a lie. I was just with her. That's a lie.
But seriously, like, that's different. You come from a different club.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes. I'm just a different breed.
This is a different breed.
I'm just a different breed.
And that's why we need you. That's why we need you stand in. Because you give me like, you.
You got to call people out. You got to be real.
You do. You definitely do.
You got to be real.
Can you give advice? This is one of the last questions. Can you give advice for those who are trying to stand on business, but business is standing on them?
Oh, but business is standing on them. The advice, oh my God, that's a good question. But business is standing on them. I mean, I think it ties back into everything you just said, and that's why you're a good interviewer. Continue to watch. because it follows back into like letting go of people who are not adding to you.
Okay.
It's finding out who you are and what you really want out of this life. It's determining where it is that you see value and where it is that you don't. It's being goal oriented, and it's understanding that standing on big business and standing on business in general means that sometimes the business is going to shut down. But what's next?
Okay.
What's next? Yeah, things happen in people's lives, and they allow it to cripple them. And okay, we're gonna cry for a minute, but now what's next? So there's a lot of things that's crumbled under my feet. She actually brought up one thing that crumbled up my feet earlier that triggered me. She tried to bring up an ex, try to be messy.
No.
I haven't seen her in years.
I did not.
And the last time I saw her, I had me a little bang. She tried to be messy and try to bring up.
No, I mean, listen, you always see somebody wow the last.
I mean, but that was business that stood on me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? No, it's all right. I got a new business. I got a new business.
How many businesses you got?
I got multiple businesses.
Okay. He's an investor.
Yes, with a high net worth.
That's classified information. When people ask me questions and if I don't want to tell them too much, I'm like, sorry, that's classified information.
Oh my God. I did sign an NDA.
Oh.
Just kidding. JK. They're like, what type of business is this? What is this? I told you this stuff cost.
Hello. No, wait, oh my God. I'm like, you know what it is too? I feel like sometimes that when you close that old business, that new business might be the one that gives you this version.
Yeah, sometimes. And then sometimes your business closed and then you downgrade to an even worse business. Yeah. You had a whole franchise and you went down to a chicken mart.
Wait a second.
I'm not blind. I saw what was up next.
Okay.
I lurked for at least 6 months.
Okay.
It was a chicken mart.
But listen, do you feel like that's when you learn? When you go to the chicken mart? Because when you there, the only way is up. That's how I be thinking.
No. Okay. No. The only way you would go to a chicken mart if you think you was worth that. I would never eat there. I would never eat there. So I don't chill in spots like that. I don't go to Kennedy's Fried Chicken.
You never had Kennedy's Fried Chicken?
I didn't say I didn't have it. I said I don't go there.
Okay, you don't got that.
We talking about what's happening today.
Okay. Today. Now you put yourself on a whole different sphere. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Listen, I feel like, and that's just for 2024. I'm putting myself in that sphere. I'm putting myself in that new business. I like the Bougetto girls though. I like balance.
Is that a city girl?
A Bougetto girl. It's like bougie and ghetto.
Who's an example?
Me.
All right now.
Period.
Buy her sweater. Come on.
Bougetto.
Come on.
I made it. No, but also it's just like, for me, I like the girls that don't like, that can live in luxury, but also can vibe. Because I've been with the little brats, like the baps, the brats. They were rats though, but I've lived. No, they were, because I've been in the Upper East Side atmosphere, but they didn't have the energy, they didn't have the vibes. Right. So I understood that it takes a balance of both. It does. When you're in a world that is filled with just money, you can literally lose your soul without even signing a freaking industry contract.
As you grow, you still need to be you.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't let any of that go. That's still who you are.
Period. Well, thank you so much for coming on this. I actually really, really enjoyed it. This is only our second episode. And listen, y'all, make some noise, y'all. What the fuck? Like, no, seriously. Shout your socials out first. I probably already know her, but
she'll tag it.
I will. I will.
Okay.
And I just want to say, we are redefining Black one video at a time. All my people in the hood deserve a golden mind. Period.